Hello, friends. My name is Armin Aurustamov. I'm a CEO and founder of Got It Live mental health mobile app. We help high performers like athletes, militaries, business leaders to overcome their mental challenges and win in sports, in work, and in life. And you can, by the way, download our app, Got It Live app in the App Store, just putting in the search line, Got It Live. For free. And today we have a special guest, incredible guest, professional athlete in women's rowing, German national team participant, world champion and European champion, and multiple European and world champion in women's rowing, plus successful student athlete in one of the top university of the world, UC Berkeley, for sure, NCAA Division I, major in psychology, and it's a so cute fact, she was also teaching assistant. She was a teaching assistant in an elementary school in Berlin, Germany. Please welcome Annabelle Oreltel. Bella, nice to see you.
Hi.
What the three most beneficial thing in Got It app for you in terms of results,
Results. It helps me to put myself into other people's shoes when I have a relational problem. It also helps create a distance between myself and the problem I'm dealing with. So it's not just like, oh, but I am. Yeah, and I do like that you also have the option, the feature to if you have an idea, oh wait, I just realized the next time I'm dealing with the situation, I could maybe try this as a strategy to either deal with it better or to avoid it if it's a really negative one. And you can write it down while you're using that, or while you're listening to your whole dialogue, which is great. So yeah, I think that was
Interesting. So comparing the another meditation or mental health apps, in this Got It app, you have to create the questions on your own, right?
Yeah.
But you are not you have a major in psychology, but you are not psychologist yet. And how do you do this? And how should people do this? Because people don't know what should they ask themselves.
I think what is my strategy is, because I love to talk to to help other people, and when they have when I was in boarding school, I lived in a unit where we had 6 singles, and I had this one girl who was 2 years below me, and she was struggling a lot with her training group or whatever. And we would just talk to each other, and then I could help her with questions, and that's how I approached that with the app as well. It's just thinking you talk to a friend, because it's way easier. If you think about it, if your friend comes to you and has a problem, you listen to them, and then you think about, okay, what can I ask to help her? How can I understand the situation better? And this is my way of approaching how to ask questions, because if you just think about, oh, it's a psychology app, and oh my god, it's mental health, I have to come up with these great meaningful questions. It's that's not the thing. It's just have to come up with questions that help you or your friend to feel better, to understand better. So yeah.
Interesting. So do you think the self-questioning or questioning is some separate skills which you need to develop?
The more you use the app, and the more you have to challenge yourself to come up with a better question to help yourself, the better you get with the skill. So it's not a separate skill, it's a skill you already have, because you've been in a social society your whole life, and you have to interact with people, and you have to socialize and figure out what is the other person's problem, or what do you have to do. So it's it's not a new skill, it's not a separate skill, it's a skill you already possess, and you can just elaborate.
What do you think, what type of problems Got It app suits best?
Almost everything, unless you have like already like you're already so deep in a problem where it's like, oh, you probably really need a professional to help you. But besides that, I think it's like made for every aspect, like for every problem almost, like spontaneous. I cannot think about like one thing where it's like, oh, maybe not this one, but like definitely that one. So it's like for like your everyday life, like for every situation you may deal with. So that's like great because it's not just like targeting one specific like area. It's like wide and like broad for like everyone.
Are you using the Got It app? I think a couple of weeks or something, right? And
Yeah.
if you can comparing the Calm and Got It app, what would you say?
So I feel like the Calm app is more like about like, oh, you have like a guided instruction, and it's more like, oh yeah, breathe in, breathe out, and it's like more of like kind of guiding yourself to like be calm and relax. Whereas like the Got It app is like, it's like as it's like a dialogue between yourself with like the modified voices. What I like about it, it helped like personally for like the last weeks because again, 16-year-olds on like we had to share like a whole house, but it was like sometimes it was like two people have to sleep in a room together. I slept at the attic with like 6 girls, and for me it helped to like say out my problem, then listen to it and be like, okay, take a step back and like take like the third person like point of view and like help like put kind of how's it called like an outsider, like so I get like it was easier to get an outsider's perspective on my problem.
Mm-hmm.
And don't make it too personal, because if you're like with so many people in one space and like so many conflict potential, it's like it's easier to always be like, oh, this is my opinion, this is like, I don't know, my cultural background, like at home we're doing it this way.
Mm-hmm.
But like so less people be like, okay, let's take a step back and like their normal like way of like dealing with people and be like, okay, no, so this is my opinion, but what she's saying is like this way, and like this is like her like point of view and her culturally background. This is what like the Got It app helped me do, be like, okay, so this is my problem, then like guiding myself towards like, okay, so you feel this way, but she's probably feeling this way, or like, yeah, and then it's like, okay, what is the actual problem? Like, what is my actual problem with the situation? Is it really what she said, or is it like, I don't know, me just being like thin skinned because we've been on each other for way too long? So that was really great.
Interesting. Could you explain by simple words how the Got It app works?
So you open it up, then it asks you what is troubling you the most right now, and you have like a bunch of like different categories, and you just choose the one that helps you best, and then you just like you click a button, you like record yourself just talking out like what is your like your biggest problem right now in this moment, and then you can listen to yourself, but it's your voice is modified so you don't actually hear yourself, because I do think people would cringe if you hear like if they hear themselves, so it helps to put distance, and then you can like listen to it as many times as you want, and then you take on the role of a mentor, and then you think about how can you help this other person with like one simple question to like find like, I don't know, like what is troubling them, like what is the actual reason why they're feeling how they feel, and then also you record yourself, then you listen to that again as the mentee with another voice, and then it's going like back and forth for like 3 times if you want, and you can record it for like 40 seconds, which is great for like people who love to talk like me because you can put in a lot of information. Mm-hmm. And so you guide yourself towards the correct answer, and if you get stuck either as the mentee or the mentor, you have a help button where you can get like like sample questions, or like kind of like a little like tip how you can help this like other person to like either understand you better or like guide them better towards a good solution for them.
The next question is, what type of people is best suited for Got It app?
Also say everyone. Because
yeah.
like it's like the stigma with like
even extroverts, for example,
like,
right?
Yeah, like I think it's like for introverts it's like super good because they don't have to like come up with the courage to like talk to someone else. Like they can just like be like with themselves and like figure it out. But also extroverts, because I do think that even if you love to talk to people, like everyone has like their point was like, oh, but I don't want to burden other people, I don't want to like talk too much about it, I don't want to like kind of present my weaknesses to someone else. So that's why it's so great, because you don't have to like get out of yourself, you don't have to present your weaknesses to someone else. It's just you, just your phone, which you have like with you all the time. So it's for everyone, like from like teens to like old people, because like it's easy access to like help. Yeah.